After 2 days of discussions and conversations packed with analysis, information, insights and ideas, new ideas, I hope, we have now reached the end of our Outer Space Security Conference 2021. I think we can say that discussions during these 2 days have served to cement a reality that we're all keenly aware of. Space is essential for human life, and its relevance, if anything, is only going to increase in the future as more actors, both state actors and non-governmental entities, especially the commercial industry, are increasingly engaged in space activities. In light of the importance that outer space holds for humankind, it's essential that it be kept a peaceful domain, and very clearly, space security must be a priority for the international community. During these 2 days, we've considered both the challenges and possible solutions in the space domain. Yesterday, the discussion was very much focused on challenges, considering how the space domain has changed, particularly in recent years with the emergence of new state actors and non-governmental entities, commercial companies, and how that affects security dynamics in outer space, arms control, and disarmament efforts and discussions. Speakers yesterday also considered the drivers of an arms race in outer space, considering and exploring geopolitical rivalries, enabling technologies, and the accelerated development of arms. And finally, and to wrap up yesterday's discussions, panelists explored the implications of dual-use technologies for space security, the relevance of intent and behavior in the use of these assets specifically. Now, today, the second day of the conference, the discussion very much focused on possible tools and approaches to enhancing security in outer space. Panelists examined the roles and the limits of non-binding measures in addressing concerns related to space security. They also discussed legally binding solutions to space security, considering the process it would need to reach a successful binding agreement, as well as the key elements that would need to be taken into account in such an agreement. Panelists today also discussed how, through the use of new and ever-developing space technologies, it could become possible to better understand the actions of others and to better and more effectively verify certain types of agreements on space security challenges. And finally, last but certainly not least, the last panel of the day just now addressed the issue of possible wider governance measures, specifically the role that non-governmental entities and non-traditional stakeholders in outer space can play in contributing to space security. I think it's fair to say that the discussions highlighted how, despite the fact that the prevention of an arms race in outer space remains a shared goal of the international community, little progress on new formally agreed standards has to date been achieved. In recent years, security dynamics in outer space have changed, and clearly they continue to do so. Nowadays, there is a greater emphasis on military uses of outer space, on military exploitation of space objects. An increasing number of countries are implementing space policies that treat the space environment as a contested and even militarily operational domain. And in the past year, several states have developed and tested counter-space capabilities. All of these developments raise concerns among the members of the international community, which continues to work towards the development of tools that can effectively enhance space security. In this sense, proposals for both non-binding norms and legally binding instruments have been made, and it has been encouraging to see that points in common between these different approaches were identified during this conference. This, we hope, will aid in shaping common understandings and building trust among the members of the international community. It was also heartening to see that this conference provided a useful platform for the commercial space industry to share its views on these important topics that, after all, affect humanity as a whole. The conference, we feel, has provided a great opportunity for the diplomatic community, as well as experts from military, academic, industry backgrounds, to jointly consider all of these issues. But this must not be the end of the conversation. The well-being and prosperity of humanity largely depends on space technology, and if anything, this dependence is only going to grow. So the dialogue established during the past 2 days should continue to be encouraged, and all space actors and space users should come together and collaborate to ensure that the goals of Paris are achieved, to ensure a peaceful, secure, and sustainable outer space domain, and for the benefit of humanity as a whole. At UNIDIR, space security also is a growth area. Going forward, we will establish outer space research as a self-standing program. We're very pleased to serve as a platform for these types of inclusive dialogues and discussions, and we're delighted by the warm reception that this conference has received. OS21, of course, would not have been possible without the financial and organizational support from the governments of the Russian Federation, the People's Republic of China, and the French Republic, and with the support of the Fondation pour la Recherche Stratégique, and with the financial support of the European Union and the Secure World Foundation, to whom, of course, we extend our most heartfelt thanks for helping us to make this conference happen. Thank you also to all the speakers, to all the moderators for your participation, and the audience, of course, for your attendance and the many questions that you have asked. The insightful conversations we have had during the past 2 days would not have been possible without your willingness to share your perspectives and to engage. Last but certainly not least, thank you to everyone working behind the scenes to make this event possible. UNIDIR's team, Leticia, Maria, Ellie, Wilfried, and Jamie, all played a fantastic role in making this happen. But particular thanks go to Almudena, here on the panel with me, who had put this event together over the last couple of months. Thank you very much for all your efforts. We hope, of course, to see you all again for the next Outer Space Security Conference in 2022. Thank you very much, and goodbye.